Hi there, welcome to Camping Secrets. I'm Marky Mark. Today we've got the TOG24 Outback 6-inch waterproof walking boot to review. We're going to give it a full in-depth review from the unboxing, what you get when you buy this boot, a little bit of the company history, and then we'll take them out into the outdoors, take it in some streams, have a look, how does it cope. So without further ado, let's dig into this. So yeah, the Outback 6-inch waterproof boot come from this company, TOG24. Now this is a UK company based in West Yorkshire, in a place called Heckmanswick. Not far from Leeds, just a little bit south in the Don Valley there. And TOG24 was set up in 1958 by a guy called Don Ward. He was a milliner, he looks after the mills, the looms, and then he branched into producing his own sort of originally clothing, and then branched into outdoor clothing with a period in sports clothing in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, the company was created in 1958, so it's almost 65 years old now. It's got that history. For a long time, all the products were designed and manufactured in West Yorkshire. They're still designed in West Yorkshire, but now that manufacturing has been outsourced abroad. I don't know exactly where TOG24 make their items, but I still like that they've got that connection to the UK. You know, just from my point of view, that is certainly a selling point of these boots. So let's unbox the Outback 6 inches and see what you get for your money. So I've not even really looked at these boots since they arrived through the post. Little drawing on the side, Outback 6-inch boot. Let's unbox. So we got a few basic instructions on how to clean the boot, how to dry them after a walk. You know, put crumpled up balls of newspaper into the boot to soak up the moisture. All fairly obvious stuff if you want to prolong the life of your boot. And then of course aftercare, where you might want to reproof the boot over time to prevent water getting in. But these are fully waterproof boots. We take the right boot out of the box here. So we've got a fairly thick heel here, and it's a really well-defined heel. I've got some Brasher old Hillmaster boots here. You can see in contrast, I've had these about 20 years. They're beat up, but they still work really well. And these are a similar price point, the Brasher, now produced by Berghaus, I think. Around the £150 mark for the Brashers. And the Outback, the TOG24, is around 180 recommended retail price, but I've seen them in a discount phase at the moment around 110 UK pounds. So I'd say on average these are similar priced boots. But anyway, it's just notable that the heel on the Brasher is, you know, it's less well defined than the Outback 6-inch. Now, one thing about the name 6-inch with the TOG24 is, what does it refer to? I'm not totally sure, and they don't actually say in the technical description. Could it be the height? You know, that's potentially around 6 inches, but I'm a little bit clueless on that. I don't know what the 6 inches is, so TOG24, if you could let me know, I'd appreciate it. It's a fully leather upper, and it's got a nice, you know, I'm a bit of a sucker for a nice looking boot. I love the contrast of the red laces with the red stitching around the, you know, the demarcation point between upper and lower sole. Comes shipped with just basically crumpled up paper, as they say. And it's got a breathable lining, inner lining, and nice sort of steel lace holes and studs to hold the laces. Let's just undo these here a little bit so we can open up, have a look inside the boot with the camera. Yeah, so we've got the TOG24 labelling. It's a breathable inner lining, So it's so fully waterproof, but then with that breathability. You know, it's not Gore-Tex. TOG24 have got their own technical liner, which is incorporated here. They also have the collar of the boot. It's got nice padding actually. You can squeeze this, and I can tell that will provide pretty good padding. And the leather itself is quite a smooth feel to it. And personally, not. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks more of a sort of going out boot, maybe a bit of walking, but just the look of it doesn't look rugged like the Brasher. The Brasher looks like it could go over Arctic territory or, you know, across Dartmoor. Not so sure that this boot feels like it can, but you know, that doesn't mean it can't. I like the grips on the sole, again well defined, so that would provide good stability and grip in wet mud and, you know, sticky mud. We've got the TOG24 logo everywhere. That's the Rose of Yorkshire. So it's nice that they're, you know, pointing back to their heritage in Yorkshire. And we've got the foxings here, and there's not much contrast here. So it's like a solid brown boot really, just a sort of lighter brown around the collar area here. And the tongue's not leather, it's a sort of synthetic, waterproof tongue, which is sort of sewn into the boot there. Toe cap, no toe cap here. It's fairly flexible, but you've got a sort of strong structure, but you can compress it. So let's get the other one out and then try them on for size. Now I'm a UK size 11. I think that's 45 in EU terminology. So I've just got normal everyday socks on at the moment. So I'd like to just try these on before we go out and test them out. And I'll just give you some feedback whether they feel tight with normal socks or loose. And then we can put some thicker hiking socks on. So let's get these on. Let's get this table out of the way. Okay. Ooh, that slid in rather nicely, so to speak. Yeah. The laces are not the thickest in the world, and I actually quite like that. Pull them tight. I like to do a double knot, so I do a double loop around a single, and I find that doesn't come loose. And then the other one. Now, some of you may not like the look of these. I mean, it is quite... There's a lot of red there. And I guess it offsets nicely against jeans or something. So if you want to go to the pub with these on, you could, I guess. Cross over those laces. Pull tight. You don't always have to lace up to the top. If you want a bit more flexibility, you can sort of just lace to, you know, leave these two or just do that one. And then that determines how tight it is around your ankle. But I can definitely feel that it's got this nice padding here. So I'm looking forward to taking these out for a walk and then reporting back to you how they perform. All right, so that's the Outback 6-inch boot on. And actually, they feel pretty good. Yeah, they're not, I can tell straight away they're not a rigid boot. The Brasher is a lot more rigid. The sole, you can hardly flex this, but this one, yeah. So I have my doubts that this is a real hill walking boot. It's more of a hybrid for sort of, you know, going out walking long distance, I guess, but maybe not over mountains, I don't know. Let's take them out and we'll report back. Okay, I'm on location in Sutton Park now with my daughter, Lauren. She's on summer holidays. And we've got the boots on. Don't know if you can see them there. Lauren's going to help film, and we're going to put them through their paces. Okay, we're just going to walk with the Outback 6 inches along different terrain. Here's some sort of mud in the park. And the first thing I can say is they feel pretty comfortable. Has got that little bit of flex in the sole, so I mean, we've walked down to the park today and it was a very pleasant experience. And normally you have to break in boots, but these doesn't seem that you need to. Cool. Let's see how they cope in a bit of wet ground. No problem coping with the cattle grid. The water is just feeding off. No water at all on it. Completely waterproof. Probably very impressive actually. Look, it's just, they're almost dry as soon as you've soaked them. Cool. So the shoes are actually not that heavy. And normally I'm a bit of a stomper, I've got quite a heavy footfall, but these aren't making a really loud noise. I'll weigh them when I get back to the house. So you can easily, if you don't like the red of the laces, my daughter said she didn't like the colour, and I was going, well, it's the traditional lace colour for walking boots. Of course you can change the laces. Got the scales here, probably not the most accurate scales in the world, but they're centered on the 0. Let's whack the boot on. We're just over 600 grams. I'd say 620 grams there for the Outback 6-inch waterproof boot from TOG24. Okay, we're back in the house now, and that was a nice walk actually down to the park with my daughter. What do we think of the TOG24 Outback 6-inch waterproof boot? Well, I've got to say, for a day-to-day walking boot, walking the dog, going for a stroll in the park, around town, to a pub or something, they're a nice boot. It's good value, extremely comfortable. I mean, this was the first time I've worn them. They fitted exactly as I would expect a 45 size 11 UK boot to fit. So I've not got the thickest socks on today, just general everyday socks. And they fitted with just a little bit of gap. So they were moving around a tiny bit on my foot. And so I think it could do with a slightly thicker sock. But basically that's what you want from a sizing. So I'm guessing because it's a UK company, they've really striven to match the boot size to what you would expect. And that's not always the case. You can often order a boot and it's too small. I find that annoying. So you can buy the TOG24 with your exact size, and I think it will be a good fit. The sole is sort of semi-rigid. I'd say it's a nice sort of semi-flexible sole. So it's comfy for walking, possibly not for rock climbing, mountaineering. You may want a bit of a more rigid sole like the Brasher we reviewed earlier, or talked about earlier, sorry. The lacing system's nice. You've got these sort of 7 lace studs on each side, and so you can either tie up to the top or not as you so desire. The cushioning around the top of the boot here was nice, as well as the synthetic tongue. I like that as well. The inner sole, nice. That comes out if you want it, so that's replaceable. Standard inner sole there, I think. Overall, I mean, this is one of the top of the range boots at TOG24. I was very impressed with the waterproofness. Walking through the stream in the park, I was taken aback really at how much the water beaded off. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it literally disappeared the minute I was out. It was like I had dry boots. And I tried to get them wet, but as soon as I came out, dry boots again. I even put them under the tap, which I can show in slow-mo, and you can just see the water beading off. And that's after 3 or 4 goes at filming it, trying to get the slow-mo working. yeah, they're dry again now after doing that. So the waterproofness is very effective, and possibly the best waterproofness I've seen. So it would be interesting to look back after, say, a year's use and see if that has remained, or whether you need to reproof with something like Nick Wax or something. Yeah, so the weight is fine. They're measured 620 grams in weight, and that's with the laces added. You know, they're not the most lightweight boots, but wearing them around for a walk, and we went out for lunch with them on, and felt pretty lightweight, pretty good. I definitely wear these for day-to-day walking, and I can recommend them. So check out our link below in the description if you want to see where to buy these boots. Please like and subscribe our channel. We'll be reviewing much more camping gear over the coming weeks and months. And we really want to grow our audience so that we can tell you about all the exciting developments in the world of camping and camping gear and outdoor gear. So anyway, I've been Marky Mark from Camping Secrets. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.